Jeremiah 29 verse 11 reminds us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Pray with me. Dear Lord Jesus, tonight I come to you with my eyes fixed on something I cannot see, the future. That wide and unknown territory that stretches out beyond today, beyond this week, beyond everything I can currently plan for or prepare for or control. And if I am honest, Lord, there are parts of that unknown that frighten me. There are questions about what is coming that keep me awake when I should be sleeping, that send my thoughts down long and winding roads that usually end somewhere dark and uncertain. Tonight, I bring those fears to you, not because I am ashamed of them, but because you are the only one big enough to hold them, the only one who actually knows what is on the other side of the horizon I cannot see. Fear about the future is one of the most human things there is, Lord. It is the anxiety of standing at the edge of the unknown and not being able to see across it. It is the weight of responsibility for things that have not happened yet and may never happen, the exhausting work of imagining every possible outcome and bracing for the worst of them. And tonight, for some of us, that fear is not abstract. It is tied to something specific and real, a decision that needs to be made, a situation that could go several different ways, a relationship that feels uncertain, a job, a health concern, a family matter, a future that looked one way not long ago and now looks entirely different. Lord, you know exactly what each person carrying this prayer to bed tonight is afraid of, and I ask you to meet each of them in that specific and personal place. Remind us tonight, Lord, that you are already in the future we are afraid of. You are not waiting at the edge of the unknown with us, anxious to see how it turns out. You are already there. You have already been to every tomorrow we will ever live, and you have already prepared a way through it. The future that frightens us is not a mystery to you. It is territory you know completely, that you have already walked, that you are already working in on our behalf. That truth does not make every outcome easy or painless, but it does mean that we will never arrive at a tomorrow that you have not already been to first. And that changes everything. Loving Father, I want to talk tonight about the stories fear tells. Because fear is a storyteller, Lord, and it is not always an honest one. It takes the smallest seed of uncertainty and grows it into something enormous and catastrophic. It takes what might happen and turns it into what will happen. It takes a possibility and presents it as a certainty. And in the quiet of the night, when there is nothing to distract from its voice, fear can feel very convincing. It can make the worst-case scenario feel not just possible, but inevitable. And I ask you tonight, Lord, to interrupt that story, to speak your truth over the fears that have been speaking loudest, to remind me that the voice of fear is not the voice of prophecy, and that the story fear is telling is not the story you are writing. Your story for my life is one of hope and a future. You declared that over me before I was born, and you have not revised it since. Every plan you have for me is shaped by love. Every path you have prepared is laid with care, and even the hard chapters of my story are being written by a hand that knows exactly where the story is going and exactly what it needs to become something beautiful. Tonight, I choose to trust that story over the one fear has been whispering. Not because I can see how it ends, but because I know and trust the one writing it. Dear Jesus, I want to pray specifically tonight for those who are afraid of losing something they love. Those who are lying awake tonight terrified of losing their health or the health of someone precious to them. Those who are afraid of losing a relationship that means everything to them. Those who are afraid of losing their financial stability, their home, their sense of security. Those who are afraid that the life they have carefully built could come apart in ways they cannot prevent. Lord, I ask you to bring your peace into each of those fears tonight. Not a peace that pretends the fears are unreasonable, because sometimes the things we are afraid of are genuinely hard and genuinely possible. But the peace that says even if the worst happens, you will be there. Even in the loss, you will not leave. Even in the hardest version of the future, your presence and your love will remain constant, and your ability to bring good out of even the most painful circumstances will not be diminished. You are the God who redeems, Lord. Nothing that happens to us is wasted in your hands. Nothing is so broken that you cannot bring something from it. Nothing is so lost that you cannot find a way to restore what matters most. That is not a promise that life will never be hard. It is a promise that you will never stop working even when it is. And tonight that promise is the ground I choose to stand on instead of the shifting sand of fear. Gracious Father, I also pray tonight for those who are afraid of making the wrong choice. Those who are standing at a crossroads and paralyzed by the fear of taking a wrong turn, of missing your will, of choosing the wrong path, and finding themselves somewhere they were never supposed to be. Lord, I ask you to bring clarity and peace to every anxious and uncertain heart tonight. Remind them that you are not a God who sets impossible traps and punishes those who miss them. You are a shepherd, and a good shepherd does not abandon his sheep when they wander. He goes after them. He finds them. He brings them back. You are able to work through our imperfect decisions, Lord. You are able to redirect us when we go the wrong way, and use even our mistakes as part of the journey towards something good. So tonight I ask for freedom from the paralysis of perfectionism, freedom from the fear of choosing wrongly, and the gentle courage to take the next step even without complete certainty, trusting that you are walking beside me and that you will course correct when course correction is needed. Dear Jesus, your word tells us in Isaiah 41 verse 13, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, 'Do not fear, I will help you.'" Tonight, I want to feel that hand, Lord. The hand that takes hold of mine in the dark and says, "Do not be afraid. I am here. I will help you." Not a hand that removes every difficulty from the road ahead, but one that walks the road with me, that steadies me when I stumble, that guides me when the path is unclear, that holds me when the future feels too big and too uncertain to face alone. I do not need to know everything that is coming, Lord. I do not need to see around every corner or have every question answered before I can rest tonight. I simply need to know that you are with me in whatever is coming, that your presence goes ahead of me into every tomorrow, that your love surrounds me in every season, the easy ones and the hard ones, the ones I chose and the ones that chose me. And I do know that, Lord. Even on the nights when fear speaks loudly, I know that underneath its noise there is a deeper and more reliable truth, that you are good and you are near and you have never once let me go. So tonight I want to practice what it feels like to release the future back to you, to unclench the hands that have been gripping it so tightly and simply open them, to say, Lord, tomorrow is yours. Next week is yours. Next year is yours. The decisions I have not yet made are yours. The outcomes I cannot control are yours. The people I love and worry about are yours. I place all of it into your hands tonight, not because I have stopped caring, but because I have started trusting that your hands are safer than mine, that your vision is clearer than mine, and that your love for everything I am placing there is even greater than my own. Psalm 56 verse 3 says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." That is the prayer of tonight, Lord. Simple and honest and real. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. Not when the fear is gone. Not when I have reasoned my way out of it or distracted myself from it. But right in the middle of it, while it is still present and still loud, I choose trust. I choose you. I choose the truth of your word over the story fear is telling. And I ask you to honor that choice tonight with the peace that only you can give, the peace that settles over a fearful heart like a quiet and steady light, not erasing the darkness entirely, but making it possible to rest within it. So I close my eyes now, Lord, releasing tomorrow into your keeping, trusting that you, who have brought me safely to this night, will bring me safely through whatever comes next. I do not know what the future holds, but I know who holds it, and tonight that is enough. Good night, and God bless you.